Hello everybody. I'm here again with a little video for Downland Crafts showcasing one of their stamps, um, the Ladybug Wreath Stamp. Um, you get three little stamps in this, Ladybug, Happy Birthday, and a little corner. And today I'm going to show you a couple of ideas with the little corner. These are the two cards I'm going to do. Well, I'm just going to do one card, but I'll show you how to do the two um, designs I have here. They're very simple. I looked at this little corner and wondered what could I do with it, and had a little play. I did a little um, row of them, and I thought they were lovely. I liked them stamped like that. I tried them in red. I had an idea in red. It didn't quite work out. And I thought, well, the leaves are green. And I was trying to think of something you could do without too much colouring. Some people love to colour, some people don't. Um, I also was working it out how to do something for people who don't have a stamping platform. And these are quite simple. Well, I suppose simple to me. So these were just bits of, it's a 160 GSM paper. It's a heavyish paper, but any good paper will do. I for this one, which one is it? For this one here, I drew a line approximately 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch. It's hard to see it now on that. I'll do it again. I just measured um, 2 centimeters, as I said, or 3/4 of an inch in from the edge. And I drew a line. Now you can draw it a bit lighter yourself at home in pencil, so you can rub it out. Turned it towards me. I'm using Distress Oxide mowed lawn. The sun is shining here, so some of the, it's a little bit, probably too bright now. It's coming and going, which is lovely, but it's playing up with my lighting. So, as I said, it's Distress Oxide mowed lawn. I put the little on here. I was just going to show you a corner too. So, as I said, it is for corners, so you can actually use it in a corner. See? Or you can use it all over the page, make some your own paper, color it in or leave it as it is. Yeah. So you can use it as corners, which is lovely. Or this is what I did. You've got your line. Hope you can see it there. So just ink up your stamp. I lined it up to the line roughly. You don't have to be too precise. Okay, so you can see it's just at a line. So you can do it two ways. You can do your row first and then the other row underneath, or over under. And actually what I did was over under. And you line it up, the leaves to the leaves, thereabouts. See, just the leaves to the leaves. What was I going to say now? I talked to myself too. Again, next door to it. Okay. This sits nicely on, probably on a, can't talk and do it at the same time. Don't squish it, just tap it, turn it, line her up, hover over it, then commit yourself to stamping. And don't squish it too much. If you squish it too much, you squish the stamp. But you need to get it flat. Hover over it. Need to get it flat and just sitting nicely so that it stamps nicely. The distress ink, oxide distress ink, is very forgiving and nice and juicy. Okay, so we'll do that. As I was saying, it fits nicely on an A6 card. I think 3 will fit on an A6 card. I'm doing a 5x7 card, so I need a little bit more. A6 card, or probably on a 6-inch card. Yeah, no, you need a little bit more for that. So they're designed for, I think, American A2, or for us on this side of the Atlantic, A6. I think it's A2 in America. Oh, I don't know now. But yeah, so that's on your line there like that. And the other one then was very simply, I just lined it up. You can see that now or not? Just down at the bottom corner. And I just started by having it straight across over towards the edge. And again, just stamping there's a corner there, like that, turning it around. And I just lined up you have two outside leaves. I just kept an eye on those. Two outside leaves, lined those up. When you go back, keep an eye at the edge where you have your edge. One petal kind of sits in a little bit in an indent to the other. Now, what you can do, because it is 4.5 centimeters, we'll leave it at 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches. So I'm going to put a line there and get the edge, and a line there. Should have done this maybe to start with. Now you can see that. So you can aim for in between those if you wish. There we go. It won't matter too much if it's out ever so slightly. Just watching the outside leaves, or the outside leaves, keeping it very. Now you can, if you really want, you can square it up on your board, and have your block squared so that it'll all square up or line up. On a stamping platform, you'll have to keep repositioning, so it'll just take longer. So just line it up. Oh, it's a bit close, but it'll be okay. Yeah, I'm just that bit further away from it. So that's how you create those two blocks, or those two patterns. I suppose you can continue if you wish. And then I think I coloured them both. No, I didn't colour them both quite the same way. Did one blue and just plain. I love forget-me-nots, you see. So which one will I do now? I'll do this one. I love forget-me-nots, so I use a blue Pro marker. I don't know if you can see that. And I didn't go too fancy with it. Just little. And you're going to have to persevere now and watch me colour it all, because I haven't got one that I prepared earlier. which would have been handy, wouldn't it? So all I'm doing is just, as you can see, little screw around. You can do it with pencils either. And forget-me-nots have a little white starry thing around the centre, so you don't have to be too precise. It's just a little pop of colour. That's lovely. Just like that. That's the blue done. As I said, they have a pop of colour. So just give the centre. They have a white little starry bit around it, so I just put a little bit of yellow in the centre. And then for the little flowers, I just put a little bit of pink or any colour you wish. Pick something that matches, like the yellow and the blue is nice. You could even just put a pink centre in it. You can put a pink centre in it. And leave the flower white. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do. Okay. Trim it off then. So I think it was roughly 4.5, which is 2 3/4. I'm going to trim it here for now, and then we can trim it for the card after. Whoops. Your line down the centre can be rubbed out. So when you're doing it, do it quite lightly. Now I've cut this quite close there, so I might actually go back in and cut it, trim it a little bit tidier on the other side. Just a tad. Just kind of even. Yeah, that looks nice. And you can see it's kind of even. Great. We'll put that one to one side. So for the card itself then, it's a 5x7 card. I've cut a blue mat for it and stuck it on at just over 17 centimetres by 12. And in inches, actually have inches today for you, is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, roughly. Okay, and for your white mat then, could take a little bit off of that, but we'll do that in a minute. It's 16 3/4 by 11.5 centimetres. I'll put them down below, and 6 5/8 by 4.5 inches. Okay, and what I'll do now is take off that tiny bit of white that I need taken off there, because it wasn't. So I have the same distance. I'm looking for the same distance all around, you see. Yeah. And it wasn't obvious in some of the pictures, but you can see I have an embossed surface. Well, that's very easily done with a scoreboard. I'm doing it on the centimetre side. You can do it on the inch side as well. And what I've done is I have a black line down the centre, or you can that's just show me the mid section. And you line up your corners, from corner to corner. Using your score tool then, I did it every two on the, So every centimetre on the centimetre side, and it'll be a little bit wider with the inch side, but you get the same effect. Okay, a little bit hard sometimes to hold on to. Do it that side, come back and do it this side. You can just do a half a page, you can do a little section of it. That's entirely up to you. Now, when you have that way done, that's the effect you get. So it's half, at an angle. You turn it to the opposite two corners then, line them up on your center, and you go the opposite way. And it gives you a lovely diamond embossed front. And you can make them wider or narrower. But I find the centimetre now or the half inch is just nice. And it just adds a little bit of interest to your card. It takes the plain dead white look off your page, okay, off your white paper or card. So we're going to stick that down now. Some glue. Because we've cut it, you know exactly the border you have on it. That's very simple, very your base of your card. Now I didn't actually cut out a piece from I think that's the same blue. I have a few different blues here. I didn't cut out a piece from I just put a border on this. So that's the right length. I'm measuring it down here. Now you can measure it and then cut the piece to match, or you can actually sit it on it the distance you want, okay? If you're not good at measuring, make a little mark where you think it's, the same as the other side, and then you can cut it that. There's a few different ways you can do that. So it works out actually at 5 centimeters or just under the 5 centimeters. So we'll cut that there. Now, when I have this up, I wanted the length of the white. Okay, you can't see, I've just marked it there, the length of the white. So I'll take that off. And then we can decide, do we want to keep a whole one? So we'd have 1, 2, 3.5. You'd be cutting it off there. Or do you want to take top and bottom off? So I decided I'd take the top and the bottom off. So we'll put that there. I'm going to layer it up to the edge, and you can see here, you can make a mark on it, or you can stick it down and cut it with the scissors. I'm going to be a bit mad and do this. I'm mad in a good way. Now, so I'm going to stick this then to the blue mat. Now I'm just going to lie it up there, even on both sides. There we go. And I've some foam tape here. So I'm going to raise this. Misplaced my scissors now. So I'm going to raise this up a little bit, decide which one looks better. Now, because this is more or less, or should be, even along here, you can actually use your diamonds to line it up. I think one of mine wasn't that straight. There we have it, and it's just raised that little bit up. And that's the basis of your card. I did the same then with the other card, the other one that I stamped the other way. Now, on this card here, I used another downland stamp. It's called As Gaeilge Greetings. So they're all greetings As Gaeilge. They cover from Christmas to birthday, thank yous, congratulations, sláinte, Lan of Nua, new baby, etc. Choc Nua even. And I used the Gurad Matagut. As you have teachers, it's heading towards the end of the year now. Just take off that other little stamp and wipe my stamping platform, my stamping block. A little bit of green on it. As I was saying, it's the end of, we're coming towards the end of the school year here. So you can always use Gurad Matagut for your moon tour, your teacher. When you take it off the plastic that it came on, oh, if I turned it around the right way, what I do is you line it up like that. And if you have a stamping block, then line your stamping block up square. It's very hard. The light is gone now, I see. Bring it back again. Yeah. Line it up and just have my stamping block square on that. And then you know that this is square. Or it doesn't really matter because actually you've got the square, the straight of the stamp. And this time I'm using Memento Black. Again, don't squash it down. If you squash it down, might take a couple of goes for you to get it right. If you squash it down, you lose the fineness of the thing of the stamp. I'm lining up the bottom edge of the stamp with the bottom edge of the paper. And it's actually the card I'm using. And just give it a minute for the ink to grab onto the card. See, you see that there now? Gorev Matagut. Thank you very much. And we'll put that to one side and cut out that then. And there's all the best videos, we have one cut out. Okay. I have a little bit of blue here from a previous. Now, if you're using blue, or whatever your base color is, if you're using it that it has it's too light, we'll stick it onto something that's a bit heavier. So I tend to cut out your greeting, stick it into the corner. You can cut it freehand or you can cut it by trying to get it that you can see. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. You can trim it on your trimmers if you're not confident about cutting straight. Mine doesn't come out that straight usually either, but it's not too bad. Now, if you were to put that on, it is a little bit bendy. So what I do, because we're going to raise it as well, is I stick it onto a piece of white card or any color card, but just on another piece, even another piece of the blue would help. And what that does, it just reinforces it. It makes it easier to stick on. And I've just cut through my blue instead of around it. So it's going to be a bit wobbly. Ideally, you cut around it. In other words, Kate made a mess of it. But you get the idea. It's not too bad looking. Okay. Find my card. Now, it's up to you then where you wish to put it. You can pop it there. Just make it a little bit darker again. You can pop it there. You can pop it across the center, down here. I've put this one here, across the center there. I'm going to put this one out a bit. And again, you probably have foam pads or whatever. Now, if you're putting it out there, if you're putting it across the center, great. If we're putting it out here, you only need to raise this bit and leave that sit down, or you can double raise it. Okay, so we'll just put a single one there. Or maybe we'll put double. Go on. It'll be so put a double lot out there because this is not a very high double-sided tape. Some I think it's only a millimeter. Some double-sided tapes are quite high. So that there. So we have the double and we have the single. Because this is raised once, we need two there. And then we just very fancy putting it. Yeah, and that's it. And in the other ones, then I actually put a little bit of stickles or any other glitter glue just on the little blue flower. It just gave it look a little added extra dimension. But that's it, simple as that. There's the 3 cards now. We'll just put them like that. For Agut and happy birthday. And use the messy table. That's how I roll. And thank you very much for looking. I hope you give it a go. Um, you know, nice, easy. And I just wanted to showcase this little small stamp because I thought it was so cute. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.